Hello everyone and now welcome to a game between Focus versus Lin. This game, a NetEase ladder match over here on the top right hand side of the map. We have Focus spawning as the red orc. Meanwhile, Lin playing random, gonna go ahead and be spawning as the blue night elf. Is that my daughter? Yes, that is my daughter. I've been casting. Yeah, she's 10. I've been casting for a very long time, and she often watches my games. I think she was confused for a second when I said Lin. She's like, oh, it might a Focus versus Lin. Oh, it might be an Orc mirror match. And I'm like, actually, no. Lin spawned random. She's like, oh, okay. And then she walked away. So, yes, enough foresight and knowledge about some of the players to know that hey, something is what race does Arya play? As a good parent who grew up with the internet, I limit my kids' screen time. So, but Arya says that when she actually gets old enough, she would try and play Night Elf. I'm starting her slow. She is just playing Super Smash Brothers. If she can consistently not fall off the platform, then maybe I will consider her to have enough coordination to try and play WarCraft 3.
So in the meantime, just good strategies.
But no, you gotta come on, metaphysics. You have to build up. You have to build up hand-eye coordination first. If she's still doing this with her controller, I don't think she has enough coordination to use a mouse and keyboard to macro. All right. Anyways, let's go ahead and in Warcraft 3 and in any competitive, you want very fine controlled movements to be able to execute your strategies. Good intro to learn basic controls. All right, let her play the campaign on easy. Well, I don't know. Well, thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. Blade Master coming out as the hero coming in. How did this game become about me and my family instead of this matchup between Focus and Lin? I would have thought, if Lin is purposely playing random to try and get away, in order to get away from Orc being one of the weaker races, and we'll see what actually happens here if Lin using a Night Elf can actually beat Focus playing Orc. Is he going to go for that mass Archer strategy? That is the question to be had. Keeper of the Grove does have Entangle. Are we going to see that Trapper get taken down? Yes, we are. Archer is going to perhaps get a little bit of pressure. There it goes. There's that Windwalk strike, getting in that damage. Archer trying to get away, and who's going to get the last hot hit there? Well, of course it is going to be Focus. Focus getting that last hit right there as the Wisp are still trying to wander away. Keeper of the Grove now making its way back off to the north, sitting at 6 armor. Well, one of the ways to back up again. Yeah, I think he had enough. Can't blame him, to be honest. All right, as the Keeper of the Grove now making its way back off to the north here. All right, fighting next to Moonwell's not a good idea. Keeper of the Grove is just still prancing around here, and I realize that I cannot spot shadow melded archers at night if I have, well, the focus on focus, or yeah, focus on focus. There's no observers in this game. The reason why focus appears as white on the map is because I am using his point of view. Coming back around, Grunt still wandering around here. 26 supply compared to 25. Are we going into a mass Archer strategy? No. Instead, going into Huntresses, as the Keeper of the Grove still just wandering around here. Not going for that mass Archer strategy. Keeper of the Grove quickly buys. Is he going to buy anything? I thought did he buy boots of... No, bought the Staff of Teleportation. And will he find a way to teleport inside the Night Elf base? We are looking at Huntresses making their way back out across there. One Archer going to dive on in back home. That Archer was the Archer I was looking for earlier when it shadow melded to try and hide from grunts and stay alive. Where is that Keeper of the Grove going to go next? Please don't turn my chair. Ent's now getting ready to engage here. Archers are down across here. Huntresses out across the map. 28 supply compared to 31. And both players just doing their thing, and it looks like the grunts were purposely staying close to that spirit lodge, making sure that the shamans are going to be able to stay around. All right, Blade Master now going after that Ogre Magi, pretty much being able to solo it. Oh, there you go. Keeper of the Grove gonna dive on in here, trying to make its way free, and gets an entangle off onto that Blade Master. Blade Master in a little bit of trouble. Is it gonna try to still go after that Ogre Magi, or go after some of those other units? There it goes after that Ogre Magi right there. Blade Master should be able to get the experience, does get the experience, and gets the item, gets to level 2, gets entangled as well. As well, unfortunately for Lin did not come away stopping this creep camp or coming out ahead. All he did was use 150 mana to delay his opponent for just a little bit. No kills, no experience still, as we're looking at the Keeper of the Grove now getting up and trying to clear out this 5/4/4 creep camp, also having a Goblin Alchemist as that second hero. Alright, Goblin Alchemist as the second hero. Keeper of the Grove wandering around here. Blade Master, well, losing that Clarity Potion and Healing Salve as the Blade Master, well, what's going to happen? Sentry Wards, all of those items going to be picked up here. Blade Master may try to go after some of those units, but they're simply too large of an army as the Blade Master gets knocked down to 400 hit points. Making its way back down here. Lightning Shield. Shadow Hunter trying to get to level 2. Should be able to do that here in just a moment. Couple of grunts finishing off the last of the Kobold Tunnelers as the Keeper of the Grove makes its way back over. Claws of Attack +9. Low hit point grunts. Are we going to actually see them getting taken down? Oh, we could have some surrounds here. More damage. However, that Keeper of the Grove was low on mana from that earlier shuffle with that Blade Master. And that, well, mana, that lost mana is absolutely felt. Shadow Hunter could be in trouble, and it gets surrounded. Blade Master nowhere nearby, and the Shadow Hunter actually gets surrounded right there. Keeper of the Grove even uses a last-minute entangle to ensure no potion or any sort of trickery could have been done. That was a odd surround. That Huntress, the one at the 3 o'clock position, looked a little bit out of position right there, but it turned out it was just fine enough for that Shadow Hunter to get stuck. All right. Keeper of the Grove is so last season. No, not really. Keeper of the Grove coupled with the Alchemist, still a very, very nasty 1-2 combination, and it is the healing ability and the very fast cooldown on both of these heroes' ultimates that make this particular strategy so powerful in the late game. Once that Goblin Alchemist gets up to level 6, which has happened much more regularly than in the past, all of a sudden that transmute becomes just a huge gold swing constantly. And it almost makes it to the point where the Alchemist or the Keeper of the Grove will hold a Staff of Preservation, and the Alchemist will have a Staff of Teleportation so that it can go back home and constantly use those Moonwells to make sure it has that necessary mana. All right, continuing this fight once more. Keeper of the Grove, what is it doing? It is actually a little bit too far away. Shadow Hunter does, in fact, have no Serpent Wards, not Hex. Will not be able to, get an easy surround onto that Keeper of the Grove. I do believe Hex will be one of the abilities, as Hex is incredibly important if you're trying to shut down, Tranquility. If we even see this Keeper of the Grove get closer to level 5, or get to level 5. Huntress is making their way back, Ents all getting taken down. Shadow Hunter doing some creeping away from that Blade Master. Blade Master trying to back up again. Meanwhile, we're looking at Lin setting up an expansion of his own over here on the bottom left-hand side. And it looks like the hero level advantage will be maintained by that Night Elf army. All right, Blade Master right here. Who against who? Focus versus Lin. It's right up top. As we're looking at the Blade Master trying to back up once more. All right, Alchemist continuing to... who knows, maybe he's watching on his phone and he can't see the very fine print and who it says who is playing right on top. And, I'm looking at a 22-inch monitor. Maybe it isn't coming across that way. Coming back down. Tree of Life, entangling this gold mine. Blade Master going to make its way, perhaps try and put some pressure on this entangled gold mine. Entangled gold mine does take full damage, as we see right there. It does not have fortified armor as of yet, meaning the Blade Master should be able to easily take it out. Meanwhile, coming back here, Goblin Alchemist looking to get to level 4, and as the Keeper of the Grove makes its way down, is it going to be able to entangle? No, nope, does not entangle the Blade Master. Blade Master now just shoot away, as we're going to start resummoning. Yeah, come on. Come on, Lin. You have to entangle a gold mine first before you can bring a wisp off to it. All right, Serpent Ward's now down here. No new... And this is funny. So Focus was thinking to himself, okay, I need to pressure this entangled gold mine again, only to come over and see, wait, Lin didn't entangle his gold mine yet. Huntress now making their way back down. Purge being cast onto some of those Ents once more. Wisp are over nearby, and this is just a horrible spot for Lin right here. The Serpent Wards are dealing so much damage, but a lot of damage being absorbed by those grunts as well. I believe a healing wave or a scroll of healing was used right there as the Huntress is, and now mass archers in a perfect position here. One Huntress could get taken down. There are a couple of Serpent Wards here, and you got to be careful. Those Serpent Wards do deal large amounts of damage, and Lin with enough micro sense to finish off a couple of those units right there, perhaps trying to finish off another Serpent Ward. Those Serpent Wards do deal a lot of damage, but however, he was able to save two of those very low hit point Huntresses from those hit points in the teens. I see your stream is on the Warcraft 3 info stream panel. That's great. I thought it was always part of the Warcraft 3 info stream panel. I just thought that at the same time, I didn't get enough viewers to actually be on the main page. So that's great. You know what? I really appreciate Marcher or Retrum supporting me as well. He's actually the one who gave me the ability to post my YouTube links in Warcraft 3 info. So any replay that I cast, I am allowed to link in my own video as well. Anyways, let's go back into this fight here. One Watchtower, well, taking a lot of damage. Archers are just pelching it down right here, and this is that mass archer strategy that I was expecting, and mass archers being able to deal so much damage, as you can see. Grunt just going to get pelted. He is a giant pincushion right here. Mass Huntresses in that front line, they are going to get cleaned up very quickly as well. 52 supply compared to 40. Scroll of Protection being used now, a little bit late if I must add, as the Keeper of the Grove now adding in some more Ents to join in on the fight. However, those Ents are not actually making their way over. They need to push back in here. Constant Purge. Keeper of the Grove could be in trouble. Potion of Lesser Invulnerability. Keeper of the Grove down to 72, 20 hit points, and it ends up surviving right there. Lightning Shield onto that Huntress. Huntress actually purposely runs away. That was an interesting strategy right there, knowing that that Huntress would actually cause more damage by being teleported in. So Lin had the foresight to see, you know what? Focus had the foresight to say, you know what? It looked like Lin just hit the Scroll of Town portal as opposed to aiming it, and he might end up getting stuck. Let me cast a Lightning Shield on a Huntress, one of the higher hit point units, so when the Huntress teleports back, it would end up dealing a lot of damage and perhaps even taking down that Keeper of the Grove. However, Lin himself said, oh, that Huntress, I need to make sure it gets out of Scroll of Town portal range so I don't have it teleport back with me. So effective right there. We're now looking at 67 supply compared to 48. And what is going on here? Why are Wisp hanging outside of the gold mine here? Two Wisps sitting right there. It doesn't really look like Lin is doing all that, or Lin knows Night Elf that much. Yes, there you go. Finally bringing in those Wisps into that gold mine, losing a bit of gold as we are looking at the Keeper of the Grove now making its rounds out. Blade Master sitting at level 2 here. And what is going on here? This Blade Master sitting at level 2, missing out on high level critical strikes and windwalk. Army 68 over 70 supply, and Keeper of the Grove now just being brought over. Here we are. Here we have it. Keeper of the Grove going to go ahead and try and engage. Tauren are now out onto the field. Ents are now joining in on the fight. Acid Bomb now being used. Mirror Image being used, as well as the Taurens are going to start trying to deal in some massive damage. You can see how much damage they do in fact deal, but they are shut down by Entangle, as you can see. Entangling with that Tauren. Lightning Shield now being brought over. However, the Lightning Shield is a little bit late, as the Ogre Mauler now standing amongst a sea of archers as well with that Lightning Shield. More damage coming back across. No Hex to stop the Alchemist's healing spray as the Ogre Mauler gets taken down. Alright, Tauren with Lightning Shield trying to finish off some more units. Blade Master low on hit points, trying to back up again. Alchemist, well, Alchemist in a little bit of trouble as well. He's low on hit points. More healing spray as one archer finally gets taken down. Lightning Shield is still rather effective as a pulverize, pulverizes one archer there. Keeper of the Grove continuing to fight its way back through. There is still an army, 52 supply compared to 44. The Serpent Wards causing a bit of problems. Who is going to come out on top here? Archer absorbing way too much damage. That Archer should really be trying to back up now, as it's, well, starting to try to lead the charge, going after some of those Shaman and some of those other units. Alchemist does have a good amount of experience or mana still. There go some other units as well, as the Shadow Hunter backing himself into a tight corner with really nowhere to go. Huntress is still trying to make their way through. Are we going to perhaps see a little bit of Acid Bomb going after that? Yeah, Acid Bomb onto the Shadow Hunter. A lot of damage to be had. Blade Master has made its way back over. Scroll of Town Portal finally being used as archers are getting taken down right there. All right, a little bit more damage. There goes another Shaman as the archers now need a backup again. Serpent Wards and Watchtowers. That Serpent Ward, 27 to 30 damage. Still putting in a lot of pressure there. And somehow, the Keeper of the Grove is still able to hang on to all of this as the units back up again. Lin sitting at 59 supply. Focus sitting at 42. Wondering, well, Lin went to the dark side, switching to Night Elf or getting Night Elf here, and now giving problems for Focus. Seems pretty imbalanced. WarCraft 2, yep. We'll see what the balance, and this is part of the reasons. Anyone who has ever had to design balance for a game knows how absolutely difficult it is. You may have a lot of play testers, I'm talking about games like TCGs, Magic. I've been involved in some trading card games in the past as well, actually on the R&D side and development side. And you never can come up with the strategies and the types of things that players will discover with, millions of hours of play. And finally being done and theorized, and how everything is going to shake down. Lin went for random and got Focus and got Night Elf. So he didn't specifically choose Night Elf in this matchup, knowing that he was going to go up against Focus. But I'm pretty sure he's glad that he got Night Elf here. All right, we're looking at 70 over 70 supply compared to 56 over 60. Next battle will be incredibly important as we see, well, in a mirror image just making its way through, trying to get some damage onto that Keeper of the Grove. That doesn't really do much of anything, though. As you see, down it goes. He might still be behind him. Well, it is 1-1 upgrades on Lin's units compared to 0-1. A 73 supply compared to 58. There is a quite noticeable difference in terms of army sizes. A 16 supply difference, which, what is that? 10. That was a 40% difference in army size at that moment. Aversion to reading. The real reason why pro players don't read tomes is they don't see it. But the community has just said they spend so much time playing Warcraft 3, they don't have time to read books. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into this, well, what may be a big engagement here. All right, Taurens with Bloodlust going after all of these units here. Wisp coming in from the north side, coming in, mass detonation, removing much of the mana from the Shamans, and all of a sudden, well, Shamans who want to get off a lot of Purge are unable to do so, and now you can see that Tauren is just absolutely entangled right there. One Tauren out for such a long time. Blade Master, Scroll of Healing being used right there. There goes another healing wave trying to keep that Tauren alive. That Tauren, however, is going to be slowly choked to death, down to 38 hit points, but now finally getting taken down. Alchemist sitting at level 5. Units trying to back up again. And we are still sitting with the Keeper of the Grove right there. There goes I thought I saw another Entangle, but no, those were perhaps some Ents trying to join in on the battle as well. Keeper of the Grove still fighting. 61 supply compared to 63. Focus actually having the supply advantage right now, but are those archers going to be able to pelt down enough arrows and get in that necessary damage too? More damage coming back across. 61 compared to 63. Well, losing Huntresses to Serpent Ward is not the general strategy that you want to be going for, as the Alchemist gets in an Acid Bomb onto some of those units. Pulverize not being used there. 120 critical strike, and it looks like, well, Focus is actually coming back, getting stronger. 63 compared to 60. All right, Tauren with Bloodlust and Lightning Shield were necessary to deal with mass Tier 1 units, as we're looking at, well, all of the upgrades coming back across. 2-1 upgrades going up against 2-0 or 0-2 upgrades here again, as more healing sprays still being used. 50 supply compared to 61. Lin looks like he's now up against the ropes, as Lin does leave the game right there. Focus bringing in bloodlusted Taurens in order to get the win. You see the final score. The heroes were not enough to carry the team, and that is what ended up happening there. Lin still not familiar, perhaps, with how to use the Night Elf army effectively. Also not getting the detonations that he needed on those shaman early enough to have a big impact to remove all of that bloodlust and that mana as well. So Focus coming back from being up against the ropes and taking this game here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.